Welcome to another episode of Fishy Toys. Today I'm doing something a little different. And honestly, I shouldn't have to make this video, but I haven't seen anyone else do it. And I see a post on Facebook probably daily about something that's shipped just incredibly poorly. It's all too common. We've got a lot of people in the hobby that are shipping toys really, really poorly, in my opinion. So we're gonna do a little how-to video, talk about some stuff, maybe a little bit of a rant. If you're here, there's probably a reason you're here. So let's start off with, say, there's a mock Scareglow that I gotta ship out. First off, find a box. That's a big one. Don't ship this in a bubble mailer. I see that all the time. I've seen people literally fold cards to fit them in boxes and all sorts of stuff like that. You don't want to do that. So find your box. And I grabbed this box for a reason. So this would be a pretty normal box to ship a mock in. I don't remember the size, but it doesn't really matter. So here's your mock, and this is a real tight fit. That's not exactly what you want. So let's get rid of that box. And I've grabbed this box. Now, this is a recycled Amazon box, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot more room in here. The reason for that is you want enough room that you can take your bubble wrap, and I've got a big selection of bubble wrap here. You can take your bubble wrap and you actually can wrap the thing properly instead of just cramming it tightly in a box. So this is actually a little bubble wrap bag. You do not have to use these. I happen to have some. They're 100% recycled from an order I did. I really like them. Not necessary. What you'll want to do is gently get that in there pretty tight. Go ahead and fold that over. Now, I will be taking a little bit more care than some of you are probably wondering why. This is obviously a fairly expensive toy, and you really want to ship your stuff well. Ship stuff how you'd like to receive stuff. So you got that. Now, one of the things you want to do there was make sure that that figure isn't bouncing. You can do this, and that figure really isn't moving much. That bubble isn't slapping around. Go ahead. Wrap her up real good. Now, bubble wrap is super cheap. Don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money on bubble wrap. When you get stuff in and it's bubble wrap, just throw the bubble wrap in a box or a trash bag and reuse it. If you are going to reuse bubble wrap, make sure you remove tape. Tape can really, it can mess up your day if you're not careful. Tape something you don't want taped. That's pretty solid, wouldn't you say? But we've still got a lot of room in this box. So, some people hate these, some people love these. They are not a terrible option, just throw them in there. But, since you've got all this room, let's go ahead and use it. Let's just bubble wrap this thing. Make it absolutely bomb-proof. Now, if you're wondering why I chose to use the bigger box, there's a couple reasons. First off, I want enough room for the bubble wrap to fit in the box, and I want enough room that I can dump as much bubble wrap in there as I want. The other thing to be concerned about here is what's going to happen is odds are no one's going to get into the box, but somebody can smash the box. And you really don't want this to be punctured in and just ruin the card. Another thing you can actually do is angle the MOC just a little bit, especially with the packing peanuts, and that will help diffuse some of the impact. So we would get that all bubble wrapped up, hose it up, tape her good. Tape's cheap, use a lot of it. Not a bad thing. If you're wanting to sell toys, buy and sell toys, whatever you want to call it, there are a couple things that you need. A tape gun's really handy. I generally don't like tape guns. I own one. They're really nice for some things, and they're some days more annoying than they're worth. That's going to be purely up to you. Not a terrible thing to have. A good pair of scissors is really nice, and a scale. If you don't own a scale, go buy a scale. Right now, just go to Walmart and buy a scale. That's going to save you so much time. You do not want to show up to the post office and ship things that way. You don't want them to weigh stuff. What you want to do is use one of the various shipping programs. Personally, I like to use PayPal Ship Now. It's the most convenient for me. There's several others. Pirate Ship comes to mind. Choose however you want. They're going to be cheaper than the post office, and you're going to have a better selection at what you want. And then you can just drop it off at your local post office. It saves you a lot of time and money, as well as your customer. Like I said, the scale is super, super important so you can weigh things at the house. You will need a printer for that. I think printers are $20 at Walmart right now. Just grab one. Not a big deal. It'll pay for itself in the long run. Now, some of you may be asking why I didn't ship that in a Zolo case. Zolo cases are absolutely awesome for display purposes. They're really, really cool for hanging on the wall. And if that MOC had been in better shape, I might have shipped it in a Zolo case. However, the downside to the Zolo case as far as a shipping case is there's a lot of room between the bubble and the actual case. It will protect the corners very well, but it allows a lot of movement. And you really want to, if you do ship it, bubble wrap inside there, packing peanuts, whatever you choose to do, and do it that way. As far as a loose figure goes, standard 6x6 box. You can pick these up at Walmart. If you're going to be doing this a lot, you should order them off Amazon. That's about the cheapest you're going to see. A lot of people use Uline that ship a bunch because it's really convenient. But you've got your figure. It's probably bagged. What you'll want to do, I normally, in this case, I will probably take it out of the... No, we'll just leave it in the bag. That'll be fine. Take your figure, same basic concept of just bubble wrap this thing to death. Now, you're thinking this figure is 5.5 inches. The box is only 6 inches tall. It fits really well at an angle. You can throw extra peanuts in there. You can throw extra bubble wrap. You can pack it with paper at this point if you've got some packing paper laying around. You can use newspaper. I don't really like to use newspaper. On top of that, I don't have newspaper laying around. But once this is packed well, it's not going anywhere. It's not shaking. Very, very simple. Uh, what I see all the time is stuff thrown in a box without bubble wrap. I see stuff bent to put in a box, which is a terrible idea. I see stuff put in bubble mailers. Bubble mailers have a place and a purpose. Very little of that place and purpose is in the toy world. Don't just throw that many faces in a bubble mailer and expect it to be okay. There's a percentage that it's going to be okay. There's also a really good percentage that it's not. It's going to get smashed. It's going to get thrown around. Nothing good can come from the bubble mailer, in my opinion. Generally, if I know somebody's going to ship something in a bubble mailer to me, I'm not going to buy from them. That's simple. I would actually rather pay extra for it to be shipped properly in a box. Just how I feel about things. That's another thing when you're charging shipping and calculating shipping. If you're buying boxes, you know that 6x6 box is probably 50 cents if you bought enough of them off Amazon. If not, I think they're 62 cents at Walmart. So you've got $1 there. You've got a little bit of bubble wrap if you're buying bubble wrap. Factor that into the cost of the item and price it accordingly. Another thing is, if people know how you're going to be shipping things, like a lot of times on eBay listing, I will actually put figure will be shipped properly in a box. Go ahead and tell people that. No one's going to be upset about that information. Matter of fact, most people don't mind paying the extra, say, $1 for some bubble wrap and a box. If somebody is upset about that, you know what? Talk to them and make sure they're okay with a bubble mailer then. I have never seen somebody who was upset about that. Generally, if people know you're packing stuff okay, they don't mind paying you an extra $1. Now, I do see some handling charges occasionally that are a little ridiculous. Try not to be that guy. You know what? I understand that some days that happens. So a little rundown. What you want to do if you want to start doing this a lot, pick a couple sizes of boxes that you like. Get on Amazon. Get the bulk deal. Lots of good places on there. I've never had bad luck with anybody. Usually you get a big box or a big stack of boxes just wrapped in cellophane and it's okay. A scale. You want the scale. Good pair of scissors. A good tape gun. And packing tape is one of those things. Don't cheap out on the packing tape. And when I say that, there's some really, really dirt cheap packing tape out there. There's a brand I like that I get off Amazon that's very affordable, but it's good tape. Your standard Duck brand at Walmart's good tape. So don't cheap out entirely on there. Like I said, don't be afraid to reuse boxes. If you're a bigger company, you probably don't want to do that. But most people buying stuff off Facebook really don't care if you use an old Amazon box. But that's my little rant today. I thought you guys might appreciate. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.